Okay, folks, listen, I ain't gonna fake the funk. I know why you're here. After looking at that thumbnail, after looking at that, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys just how easy I made those, and we making chicken lollipops, better known as Lollipop Chicken. Now, if you notice right here, I'm gonna be using my dual fire 1200 by Rectech, right? 2 different zones, great for searing. Listen, when I do the steaks, I got something for you, right? But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat, right? So I hit my power here, and today's temperature we're gonna be using, I'm gonna be using 300. Right? So I set this at 300 and it just stays. You can make this on anything. I could have used, you know, like a charcoal grill, you know what I mean, to infuse that type of flavor in there. But I love using pellet grills, and especially like using Rectech, right? So I'm gonna show you about the pellets for those of you guys that don't know. The #1 question that I get is like, hey, what is that? That's not wood, this is just compressed. Look, they don't add nothing to it, and this is the flavor. I'm gonna show you the blend, because that's what everybody wants to know. You know, what did I, do it with? So we looking for that smoky infused flavor. All right, so listen, if you don't believe like maybe I'm faking, when I tell you, I put this here because I try different pellets from time to time, but right now this is my favorite. But if you wanna know, there it is right there again. I keep it on deck and I use it quite often. That's already preheating, right? So that's behind me preheating. Look, I want you to pay attention. All you need is this right here. Super easy to make. It's just a little bit on, a little bit of work and prep. Now I'm gonna show you this. I got a little piece of foil. I'm gonna show you what that's for in just 1 second, but I've already done these. You see how they're standing up? Now you're getting the concept when I say lollipop, right? So I'm gonna show you how we come up with that result. All right, so look, I'm gonna show you how we got there. Now, I'm gonna take this, you're gonna wanna get yourself like a sharp knife, right? I can use my chef knife, but I'm gonna go ahead and use my little paring knife, right? So what we wanna do is, you can see right there go a tendon. What you wanna do is, I just go right here. Listen, the further up you go, that's the less meat you're gonna get, right? So I start about like right here, that's good. I can see the meat, and that's fine. Then I just cut, I feel it hit the bone. You do a little bit of sawing, but by now, you guys been following me, we gotta keep our knives sharp, right? So just take this and just go all the way around. That's all you gotta do, right? You see how I just cut that tendon? That's okay. That's what we wanna do. You just wanna cut this and go. Now I take my hand and I start pulling this back. Anything that didn't come loose, I just take it. My knife is sharp, I just run it like this and it just cuts. We're gonna get rid of that too. We're gonna use a pair of kitchen scissors just to make everything, like super simple and easy to make, right? So I take the skin, pull this down like this. Now, I'm gonna hold this like this and just take my hand and just start pulling this down just to get this back. You see that? We're gonna clean all that up. But right now we wanna get this off. Now I'm gonna show you this part. You're gonna need to get yourself a napkin. Napkin, paper towel, right? You take this. How can I do this so you guys can see? You see the knuckle right there? It kind of like comes this way or it goes that way, right? I like to go from the round part towards this way, right? So I take this, we're using a paper towel for grip, right? You just want to get a grip on it. And then you see how I got my thumb under there? This is what I was talking about. I come from this end. You do whatever end is easiest for you, right? I come that way, I got my thumb kind of like in there, and look, then I just peel this part off right here. Get a good grip on it. You know how we use the paper towel the same way that we use it on a set of ribs to pull off the membrane. It's just for the grip. And then right here, you want to clean it up. But before we get there, I want to make sure I keep the integrity of my skin good, right? Now, I just hold this in my finger like this. You can go this way, whatever's comfortable for you guys. Put your hand on it like that, and then just push the meat down. You know what I mean? And then you're going to have to keep going. Now, remember I said you got to have yourself some kitchen shears. Now with my kitchen shears, I try to just pull it and just do a little cleanup. Now I want you to pay attention to this part right here. After I cut this off of here, it don't look like much right now, but wait. When you cut it, I want you to pay attention. If you look at that like that, tell me, how's that gonna sit and stand up? Like I see some people when they do them, they leaning like this. We wanna get these so they stand straight up, like the ones that you see over there. And the only way we gonna get that, folks, is we gotta have a level surface down on the bottom, right? So now I'm gonna take my chef knife, right? I'll take my chef knife and I just make a cut because we wanna have a flat bottom. We push down one more time. If it stays up, I'll do a little bit of cleanup. And you know that little bone is right here too? I cut that also. I take my knife here and you can cut through that. It's more like cartilage type of bone. You know what I mean? It just cuts really, really easy. And we take it like this. And now you can see it standing straight up. Now that I got everything, you know, trimmed up and ready to go, right? What I'm getting ready to do is, I'm gonna explain this aluminum. I'm gonna go ahead and say it since I grabbed it. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and protect the bone. You know what I mean? It's just like French tipping, right? You know what I mean? When you put that, after you expose the bone, you wanna put this on the top just to protect it. Now, I'll take them off at the end, but I don't want these to turn out to look like, you know, like nasty, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my infused olive oil. You know what, you guys can use whatever you know, whatever you have, any cooking oil to do. But for me, I like to have just like good ingredients from the gate. What I'm gonna be using to season everything with, I'm gonna be using my A seasoning. I'm gonna do a combo, right? This right here is great for the poultry, but we wanna get that barbecue flavor, right? And that's right here. This is my barbecue rub. I'm just going, since I got a little oil on here, I just wanna make sure everything is coated. And the reason I'm doing that is, listen, it helps give it that color also, along with the seasoning. And what it does is help me get a little bit on the crispier side, you know what I mean? And main thing is, check this out. We want the rub to stick, don't we? I'm just finna, you know, put a little seasoning, a little rub on it. You know what I mean? It's all good. And notice that anything that falls down the bottom, along with the oil, I'm gonna move everything around so we can get that flat spot right. Now that that's done, now we come with the ooh-wee. I'm gonna just say this, both of them are ooh-wee. I ain't got no word for what it's like once it's done, but once it's done, you guys let me know. Now that these are ready to go, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna tear a piece of my foil, right? And what you wanna do is just cover it up. We just wanna protect the bone, right? So you don't need no whole lot of foil. It don't have to be none of them tight wraps. Just something like what you see right there. Now, if you look right here, look, this is what I'm talking about. That's what you have. Now, we want to get some seasoning on the bottom, right? So I just move these back like this, and I just take it and pat them. So if I look at the bottom of there, look at that right there. You know what I mean? Because we want to have flavor throughout. And now we put these on here just like this. As you can see, I set it for 300. It's at 301. This is what I'm talking about. Dual fire. Okay, so I was getting ready to give you the model number of this, but all the RecTech products are just like spot on. I mean, plus or minus maybe 5 degrees, but it's monitoring it and keeping it just right. So with that being said, I don't want to lose all of my heat. I'm getting ready to put this in here, right? Let's get this centered over here because I want to capture my juices, and I'll show you why. I'm gonna give you guys some options, right? So I'm gonna open it up, put it inside like this. Look at that right there. Then we finna close it. Now I'm finna set myself a timer for about 30 minutes. Now what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna want to check the temperature of your meat, right? Listen, they say 165. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that, right? But listen, when you're dealing with the dark meat, I like to go just a little bit higher than that. But the only way we're gonna know is we're gonna check it with a meat thermometer. And guess what, folks? I got mine, you got yours. All right, so look, now let's take a look at it. I'm gonna go ahead and just probe it. We'll just see where we at right here. When I get it in the inside right here, look, 366, 67, these are ready, right? This one over here, I'll check this one in the back. Get into the thick part of that meat, 165, 166. Don't forget, it's gonna kind of raise on its own. I'm telling you, this is a must. When you cooking, I got it. This is like the new school way. You know what I mean? Because I check everything. What I did was I just cut it off. But I check all of my food to make sure my temperature is safe, especially when I'm doing stuff for like, you know, like friends, family, stuff like that. So just best practices is to just do it this way. But if your granny taught you how to do it, or your grandpa taught you how to like look at something, you know what I mean, and you can do it, then do it. All right, so listen, if you guys wanted to know how was I able to go ahead and go inside of there when this was like hot too, I'll give you guys a pro tip. Like a lot of people don't know this. Me coming from the barbecue world, I know. Listen, when you put a set of latex gloves, you know, food grade gloves on the top, you have that on the outer, but listen, I'm using some cut resistant cotton gloves, so this gives me a shield. So this on top of that, bam, now I can handle anything hot. Even when I'm doing pork butts or anything like that, I'm able to pick up the hot meat and just move it and transfer it, and I still got that dexterity that I need, right? So now I'm gonna let this cool. You guys can see it. Oh man, these is nice right here. Okay, folks, look, I done let it cool down. Listen, my mouth been watering the whole time. Obviously, I ain't did nothing. You know, you don't see not one of them missing, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. I'm gonna turn that around. I'm gonna let you look at the color right there. That right there is nice. Now, I don't like to say, I already told you that, I don't want to put no time on nothing like that. The reason being, because listen, food is ready when it's ready. Meat has a certain temperature it needs to reach, You know what I mean? So don't forget, it's chicken. Same thing. When you're doing it in the oven, we're gonna do 350. I could have did 350 out here, but I wanted to infuse it with the, a little bit more with the smoke, right? And this right here, this is my baby right here. This is my dual fire, 1200. Listen, I don't know, there's a lot of brands out there, but I like this. You know what I mean? Any of their brands, from like the bottom or working your way all the way to the top. I understand everybody not gonna have it, but listen, if you ask me and you value my recommendation, this right here is fire. Now, with that being seen, I can put it out here in the sun. I know you guys can probably see that. Ooh-wee, look at that. But enough said, now it's time to eat. And the reason I got this napkin right here, because listen, these are juicy. If I squeeze it, it's dark meat. It holds all that juice in it. So we'll get down like this. Okay, folks, look, the result is great. For those of you guys that do have my seasonings, you know what I mean? You know about this combination right here, right? This right here is fire, especially when you're doing, anything out on the grill. Listen, the Rectech, 1200, that dual fire, listen, it infused everything with the smoke. You can see the color, and I could just show you like this. When I tell you it comes out clean, it comes out clean, right? So I done ate all this. I'm not finna over talk it. I want you guys to talk to me down in the comment section below and let me know, what do you guys think? Tell me, is it worth the trouble for you guys to do it? To me, it's no trouble. When I can put this out in a deep, full pan, I put two or three of these out, while I'm entertaining some company or doing it for like a client or something like that. That right there just raises it up. Now, with that being said, listen, if you're new, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and tell. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.